Welcome to the Lady Up America podcast. I'm Diane, Canada, your host, and I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies, as you can see, I have a new guest in the studio with me today, and she'll be here every day. This is my piano, and I am just learning how to play. But let me just kind of explain quickly what's going on here. So, for many, many, many years, I was a professional singer and songwriter. But I had someone who accompanied me. And when he left and all that changed, I just kind of put my music on a shelf for a long, long time. And I didn't really have much inspiration to take it down and write or play or sing other than special occasions. And so God's been waking that desire back up in me again now. And not because I have any desire to chase a deal or to go back to doing music professionally. It's not so much that. It's just that no matter which way this election goes, we're going to need God more than ever. And I have found him most profoundly in music. I just have a deep, deep connection with him when I play and sing. So my idea is, just as we're interviewing guests here on the show, or if it's just you and I visiting together, that we'll sprinkle in a little bit here and there just as a way to inspire us. So I hope it does. That's my idea. I'll be learning right here in front of you, as I said. It's a little vulnerable, but it's okay. We're all vulnerable right now, aren't we? Speak, speak, speak to your children now, Lord. Speak, speak, speak to your children now, Lord. I'll be right back. Around this town, lady up around this town. Victory on the battleground, we claim it now. Lady up, lady up. Lady up, lady up. What I have kind of rolling around in my head today that I just wanted to talk to you about, just you and I today, is that we're going to need to be doing a lot more listening in the coming days than we are talking. And one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about music is because it speaks to our soul. I heard somebody say years ago that music picks up where words leave off, and I think that's so true. But I think Jesus speaks to us in through music and through a whisper. He's not going to compete with all the noise going on in our lives, all the noise in the world, and he shouldn't have to. When we get still and we get quiet and we become intentional about just listening for that whisper of his wisdom, he speaks. And these are the times right now that we're in as we start to see so many things out there that can be big and scary. These are the times when we need to hear him most. We need his words of reassurance, that voice inside that's saying it's all going to be okay. I'm on the throne. I've really got you in the palm of my hand. I think we need those reminders and that constant replenishment from the stresses and the worries and the angers. We need to hear his voice more than ever now. And so I am just encouraging you today to, whatever you have on your plate over the coming weeks, I'm asking you to carve out some time to be still with the Lord, to just be very still and listen for the whisper of his voice, or pull out some music and, listen to a song, some praise music that just really inspires you, and get into that state of mind, into that space where we are worshiping him and where we are coming into his presence, because that is where he speaks most profoundly. And, we can come to him with our prayers, and we need to pray every day. But I think that ability to learn to intentionally listen, that's something we have to develop, because it doesn't come naturally for a lot of us. I used to go and take walks out in nature. I'd go and walk Radnor Lake here in Nashville area. We've got this beautiful lake here called Radnor. And I would go and when I would be in nature, that's when I could really hear him speaking to me. If I had a big decision to make, or if I had just felt like I'd been a little disconnected from him for a while and I wanted to reconnect, I would go out and I would take these great nature walks. These days, I don't feel safe to do that because of all the illegals that this administration has let into our country. We hear about Lake and Riley and people like this that are being attacked when they just go for a jog or go for a walk on a nature trail. So I don't feel safe to do that anymore, at least not until we have a massive deportation and get a lot of these criminals out of our country. So I have to get a little creative now about how to really get that same feeling, create that same atmosphere to hear from the Lord. And maybe that's why music has been coming back around to me, because that's how I really used to connect with him. But worship, we don't have to wait for Sunday morning to worship. And worship is not just singing. A lot of it is just getting our hearts into a place where we are acknowledging him, where we're drowning out all of the other distractions and noise in our life. We're just getting still, and we're intentional about coming into his presence, inviting him into our room, into every nook and cranny of our life. It's that connection. And I tell you, I crave that anymore. I mean, I've talked a lot on this show about how in the mornings we need to get up and devote that first couple of hours of the day to him, at least as much as you can. We have a time, my husband and I have a time between 7 and 9 where we're very intentional about protecting that time. And that's our Bible time and our time together to connect with each other and with him. And I'm very protective of that. But, not everyone has that kind of time. But at the very least, we need to start our day praying and suiting up in our spiritual armor for the day. Don't go out without your armor on. But in this day and time, things are coming at us so fast that if we don't carve out that time to be still and listen to what the Lord is guiding us to do next, I think we're going to be in a free fall mentally and spiritually. Like I said earlier, no matter which way this election goes, we're going to need him more than ever. If it goes in Trump's favor, then I think we're going to see a massive revival in our country, the likes of which, I don't think we've ever seen. Because I think we'll be bolder. As Christians, I think we'll be more bold to go out into the public square and declare our faith, because we'll have a leader in office that promotes and helps us to have freedom to do that. I think that we would have opportunities to win more of our friends and family to him when they start to see their own lives level back out and peace starting to be restored in the world and in our country. I think we'll have a great argument for our faith. We'll have a stronger testimony that we can give. If it goes the other way, if Kamala gets in, God help us. But if the Marxists take office, however they take it, then, because I don't believe they can win it, if they take office, then I think we're going to see panic in the hearts and minds of the people that we encounter, because the evil that's been unleashed on our country the last 4 years will increase. I think they'll double down. I think it'll be the last election we'll ever have, because now that they've got that full grip on power, I don't think that they'll ever let go of it. And so I think we'll start to see a lot of panic. We'll start to see more horror stories. We'll see more children aborted. We'll see more children trafficked. It'll be chaos in our country. We are ripe for the rapture. So we'll have an urgency, an even bigger urgency, to win people to him. And as people are more receptive, I think that could also set the stage for a massive revival in our country. So either way that it goes, our work as the church has only just begun. This election will not be the end all. It'll just be the very beginning of our work. We have to get a lot bolder about speaking up kindly, with love and compassion, but speaking up about our faith and get over what it might cost us. I had a guest on my show last week, and she made a great statement when I was saying, it's costly to speak up. And she said, well, what has it cost us to be silent? What has it cost me to be quiet? And that's what we have to measure. The cost of being silent. Jesus is coming back. And he said we would never know the day or the hour, but we would know the season. And if this isn't the season, I don't know what is. Every prophecy has been fulfilled for him to be able to return. Israel has been reinstated back into Jerusalem. We have all of these signs in the Bible, the red heifers. We have all of these things that have happened in Revelation that show us the season. It's all been fulfilled. Everyone's coming against Israel now. Israel's in the news. They're surrounded on all sides. Our administration is not doing a whole lot to help over there. They're allowing them to be defensive, but not offensive. And so they are surrounded on all sides, and we see major powers teaming up, just as the Bible predicted. We see AI. God said there would be a massive increase in intelligence just before his return. We also see that they're already preparing people for chips, which means you won't be able to buy or sell unless you take the mark of the beast. This is already happening. And so this is not a drill. We as the church, as Christians, this is our moment to rise, to shine, to win people to God. And so we can't just rest on our laurels if Trump wins. And I hope he does. But this will be the beginning, because God said there would be a massive revival toward him just before he comes back. And so we're seeing that again, one way or the other with this election. But we've got to be on our toes, and we've got to be listening for God's wisdom on how to approach the people that we love, and do it in such a way that we attract people to him rather than repel them. But this is our moment to shine. This is a job for the church. There is no cavalry coming out of Washington. I say that all the time, you guys, but it's true. We can't sit back and look to government to solve this for us. No, all of this evil that we see in our culture right now, that all happened on our watch, the church, because we were too silent. We didn't know what was going on. We were busy with our own lives and our own issues, that we weren't paying attention to what was rumbling and going on under the surface. We were oblivious. And COVID is, for as much destruction as it brought, it also was a good thing in the sense that it was a massive wake-up call for the church. And so I know that I don't have to tell you, but I just want to encourage you and bring to your attention that this election, no matter which way it goes, is the beginning of our work in this country, really, to winning souls to God, because the time is drawing near when he will return. And we're not going to win everybody, and we can't force our opinions or our beliefs on people, no, but we can sure show up better, and we can sure attract people to him. And the only way we're going to do that is if we're walking the talk, y'all. If we are quiet and we are careful to listen for his whisper of wisdom in our lives, if we're being obedient, if we're going and connecting with him each day and getting filled with his word each day, so that then we're giving to others from a place of abundance and not a place of depletion. We're getting rest. We're eating right. We're taking care of ourselves. We're taking care of our families. We're not trying to spread ourselves so thin that we're doing too much that we get cranky, right? I mean, little things like that we do, like the normal things, but then we also need to be in constant prayer. And what does that mean? I don't mean that we're like down on our knees all day long. What I mean is just dialoguing with God all day long. I do it all day in my car. If I'm walking, if I'm by myself up the grocery aisle, whatever, I'm always talking to him, and I'm always asking him, Lord, I've got this on my mind. What do you think? What should I do about this? Or Lord, I've got to go into this room in a few minutes. I want you to come in with me, Lord, and give me the words. Or Lord, I've got to have this phone call this afternoon, and I really don't know how to handle it. And Lord, I'm inviting you to that call, and I ask you to show up and speak through me. Speak words of wisdom through me to my friend, whatever it might be. But this is all day long. We're dialoguing with him, where he's part of our day. He loves you, and he's the closest to you of anyone in your life. He goes in every room with you. He's in every car ride with you. He's as close as a whisper, and he's always whispering to us. It's just a question of, do we have enough ability to hear him? Is the world too loud and we can't hear him? That's what I mean. Like, we've got to drown that out. We've got to get into a still place, into a quiet place, and in an atmosphere where we can hear him. And so, like I said earlier, a nature trail, something like that, I don't feel too safe doing that anymore. And so I wouldn't want to encourage you to do it. But, music, singing under your breath, singing in your car to him, turning off the radio and just saying, Lord, I'm here and I invite you into this space. Lord, I know you're here already and I want to just talk with you, Lord. I want to hear what you have to say to me today. And you'd be amazed at how he will speak to you. He speaks to us. So he wants to speak to us. He's asking all the time. He's always knocking on the door of our heart. He always wants to tell us what's on his mind, and he wants us to tell him what's on ours. So that's just that precious, precious dialogue with him all day long. And then as we are filled up, as we feel that supernatural power and connection to him, then that's going to show up in our countenance, and it's going to show up in the way we approach people, in our body language and the tone of our voice, all of these things. We're pouring out then from a place of abundance. We're filled up with him and we can spill that out, pour that out onto other people. So it has to be genuine. It can't be something contrived. We've got to be really obedient, like I said earlier, about watching what you take in, what your eyes see and what your ears hear. I'll tell you, I'm finding this anymore, ladies, that things that used to seem like no big deal to me, like music that I used to listen to, shows I used to watch, I just can't watch them anymore. It's like they make me so uncomfortable anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I feel God changing what I desire to listen to or see or hear. It's amazing. It's amazing when he starts really, when we allow him into all those nooks and crannies of our life. It's just amazing how much more of him we crave and how we just fall deeper and deeper in love with him. And so, like, things that I used to be able to listen to and it wouldn't bother me at all. Now I listen to it. I'm like, no, I can't do that because it dishonors him. It dishonors him in some way. And I just don't want to do it. I only want things that I hear or see that honor God. And I find the more and more I do that, then the stronger and stronger I feel, the more I'm able to influence other people from a genuine place. And so that's just kind of how it works. It's amazing, but getting still, listening more than we're talking, inviting him in, and then being super diligent about being obedient. That's what it's going to take to win our culture back. So like I said, no matter which way this election goes, we have work to do on the other side. And he's counting on us because when he comes back, when the rapture happens, when he comes back, I don't want anybody that I know or love to be left behind here to face that tribulation that's coming, because it will literally be hell on earth. And people that are so pompous right now, or so quick to blow off Christians right now, oh, they're going to be so sorry during that tribulation period. They're going to say, why didn't I listen? But what we don't want to have happen is for them to say, why didn't you tell me? Diane, why didn't you tell me this was coming? I posted something about this earlier on Facebook, and it's so true that we're so worried about being canceled or ostracized from somebody right now if we speak the truth. Everybody wants us to just affirm their lifestyles, affirm a lie, affirm things that we know are not biblical. And we have got to be much more concerned about the long game for them, what's going to happen in eternity for them, than we are about rocking the boat or ruffling their feathers now. We can speak the truth kindly. We can do it from a place of love and compassion, but we have to speak it. The most loving and compassionate thing that we can do is to tell someone the truth and not affirm a lie. There's nothing loving and compassionate about allowing them to remain in that delusion or remain in that lie that will lead them straight to hell, or certainly into the tribulation. I don't want to face Jesus and have to answer for why I didn't at least try. So it's serious, but at the same time, when we stay full in him, we stay connected to him, then we have the power to do it. We have the ability to show up and win people to him. He does the heart changing. We can't change a heart, But our job is to sow seeds and to attract people to him. That's what we're here to do. So getting still, being still, intentionally listening for his voice, that's where it has to start. That's our starting place. Getting that intimacy, deepening that intimacy with him, where we're full of him, and then we pour that out onto others from a place of abundance, not depletion. That's my word for you today. So with that in mind, we're going to ask God to just speak to you. Speak, speak, speak to your children now, Lord. Speak, speak, speak to your children now, Lord. Speak. All right, ladies. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Lady up. Lady up around this town. Lady up around this town. Victory on the battle.